We're with Frank Basa, President, CEO, and Chairman of Castle Silver. Thank you for joining us, Frank.
Always a pleasure. Thank you very much.
So give us an update with Castle Silver. What have you been working on for the past 6 months?
On Castle Silver, what we've been mostly focused on is taking large bulk samples from underground. We did finish the next drill program. It was a small drill program. We got some pretty spectacular cobalt assays. And what we're finding also with our cobalt assays, we have some very high-grade nickel assays, plus gold, plus silver, which is quite nice.
Now, I understand that you have the plan to change Castle Silver's name to Canada Cobalt Works. So
that's right.
Why did you decide that?
Well, a lot of my shareholders thought, and I agreed with them, that we should really reflect the true value of the company. So we decided to call it Canada Cobalt Works.
Now, tell us, what are the cobalt grades that you have recently received?
Actually, what we're trying to do is we're looking at different areas within the mine. We have the only mine in the area that has access to the underground. So that's where we're taking our bulk samples from. So we're targeting anything over 1% cobalt. Now that we know that there's also nickel, silver, and gold, we'll try to take the grade down to 0.3 and then develop a resource at 0.3% cobalt. So right now you'll notice all our assays are 1% higher, and they're very large samples, and I think we'll start taking even larger samples. Our intent is to build a small pilot plant to blend these and then produce the product, take it to SGS, and produce, using our Retox process, produce a product that will be directly sold to the battery manufacturers.
Now, I understand that you recently received a $1 million financing in January. So what are the proceeds going to be used for?
Well, the reason we did that financing was because we had a lot of our investors trying to get inside. They were having a hard time buying our stock. So we said, okay, we'll go for $1 million. We ended up getting 2.5. We left 1.5 on the table. And the money specifically is going to be used, again, for exploration, bulk samples, and test work that's being carried out at SGS.
Can we talk about why the historic Castle Silver mine closed down?
I was actually working for Agnico Eagle Mines at that time frame. Agnico at that time only recovered silver from the ore, although the veins are cobalt-based. The primary metal actually is cobalt. We only recovered the silver. The price of silver collapsed, and of course all the mines got shut down, so Castle got shut down. And in the interim, the president passed away, and then the new management didn't feel they were interested in the cobalt camp, and then we acquired it. At that time was actually the highest grade producing mine that Agnico had for silver.
So what are the exploration plans in 2018 for Castle or Canada
Well, we have
Cobalt?
a very large drill program outlined to go forward. We also are looking at doing a very large bulk sample from underground. So we're looking at rehabbing the underground. Once we do rehab the underground, we also want to drill from underground. We have a lot of targets to hit. And in the interim, what we're working for is we're completing an internal study to build a mill on the Castle property. For the first 3 to 5 years, we'll probably be milling the rock from our sister company called Granada Gold, and then thereafter we'll be milling the rock from the Castle mine.
What do investors have to look forward to?
Well, I think a very exciting year. Price of cobalt seems to be increasing. The general feeling is there's no cobalt out there if everybody wants to have an electric car. So definitely a lot of large bulk samples, a lot of drilling, and hopefully a decision will be made to install a mill on our property, so Castle or Canada Cobalt Works will actually generate revenue.
Great. Thank you so much for the update, Frank.
Always a pleasure. Thank you very much.